Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, now where in the heck is all of my hmm, that's weird. Where's the background? Where is this? And it's done this before. Hmm, I don't like this. Let me see. Okay. Now that doesn't look right, does it? So let me go back to bubble, right? Let me go back to this. Oh, they got a new one. Yeah, well, I don't like the new one. Oh, check that out. And this one, but I prefer this. And I want my royal blue back. Okay. They always messing around, aren't they? Okay. All right. Okay, you guys. Sorry about that. That's very confusing. All right. It seems as though StreamYard has changed a few things. And when they do that, they tend to take the setting back to, I guess, whatever it was originally, and they remove all of your custom stuff. But no matter. See what I mean? Now that's back. All right. So slides are coming up. Let me see who's here. Connie Bomber. Missed a few live chats. That's okay. I'm glad you're here. Wait, what? Uh-oh. Did I mess up something? Hmm. Uh-oh. I think I made a mistake. Oh well. I'll have to check that out later. Like right now. Oh man. Wait, how is that possible? Mm-mm. I'm in trouble. Well, nothing I can do about it now. Hmm. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. All right, sorry to scare you guys. I thought I had a scheduling mishap. Hello to you too, Sonia Alexander. Hello, John Garcia. All right, here we go. So there's just a couple images that we have not seen from the dinner that has cropped up. I'm sure there are so many more out there, and I will be glad to see them when they're available. By the way, you guys, I don't think we'll be here more than an hour, probably less than an hour. But let's get on with it. Well, well, well. If it isn't the consequences of the election day actions, um, I keep saying elections have consequences, right? Elections have consequences. And here you go. Demolition. Demolition DC. The east wing of the White House is being demolished as we speak. They are building a ballroom, a big, beautiful ballroom, a gold gilded ballroom. You won't believe that this is happening during a government shutdown, but it is. Now, historically, the East Wing of the White House belongs to the First Lady. And since it's been a while since we've had, anyway, I'll just move on for the sake of good taste. But there you go. That is the East Wing of the White House, and it is being demolished. That is the entrance that is used by visitors to the White House. If you've ever gone on a White House tour, you enter the East Wing, and I believe you exit from the North Portico. But yes, just think the British burned it down during the War of 1812. And of course, or at least they tried to burn it down. And of course, back in the 1940s, it was Harry S. Truman who ordered the White House vacated so that they can demolish the interior and completely rebuild it. So most of the interior of the main mansion is not original to the White House. And of course, the West Wing, where the Oval Office is located, I think the Oval Office is about 100 years old. But yeah, the original mansion itself, I think work started back in the late 1770s. Was it? No. Probably, I think it was like 1790s is when they started building the White House. Anyway, the executive mansion, as it was called at the time, the executive house, later on became the White House as a reminder to the people who built the White House that it will never, ever belong to you. Now, take a look here. That is Emma Grede. If you notice, the wine that was served at her elegant dinner, that was the As Ever wine, the Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc from the Duchess of Sussex. Yes, the Sauvignon Blanc. That is the wine that was served for the dinner. And here are the couple of images that you have not seen. As I said, they are trickling in a few at a time, but there's our Duchess mixing it up. You can see that lady from Highbrow Hippie is there. I don't recognize the other women that they're speaking to, but as you can see, it was a beautiful party. A lot of very powerful women in one space. So, of course, our Duchess fit in there perfectly. Kevon Slim says this Andrew story is huge. They need something big to knock it off the front pages, and I have an idea what they'll use. Thank you so much for the super chat. I don't know. It seems like that's all everybody wants to talk about is that sick old man, Andrew. I don't know if anything can compete with that. This story is going to be here for a while. The only thing that could compete with that is, well, it wouldn't be very helpful to Charles if he became the competition. I'd rather the monarchs survive. I'm not ready for Charles to go yet because his son is an absolute maniac. Or should I say his heir, his son and heir is a maniac. And yesterday we were trying to figure out who that lady on the right side is. Duchess Meghan, pictured with friend Kelly McGee-Zafin and clinical psychologist Dr. Conchi at the George Zafin tennis tournament. So yes, she is a clinical psychologist. Truly a special moment for Dr. Conchi meeting Meghan, a passionate advocate for youth and family mental health, and the recent recipient of the Humanitarian of the Year award, that honored by the Project Healthy Minds. Um, what is that? Malika, yeah, the Malika Center. So, yes, that's who she is. She's a clinical psychologist. I knew she looked very familiar, but I just could not think of her name. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, on work life balance as a CEO. I'm still going to chaperone the first grade field trip. Um, Connie Bomber, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for being a member as well as a moderator here at Royal Sussex. In the conversation that the Duchess of Sussex had with Fortune magazine, she mentioned the fact that in spite of everything else she has going on, she still intends to fulfill her duty as the parent of any child in school. She's going to chaperone the field trips, which is going to be amazing, I think, to see well, actually, we should not see it. We had better not see it. I don't ever want to see the Duchess of Sussex as a chaperone for any school trips, because that would be a breach of privacy for those children, and we definitely do not want that. So I am going to grab that link for the Fortune magazine interview, and I'm going to share that with you because let's see. Okay, because everyone should have seen it by now. That's why I'm going to share it with you. Everyone should have seen it by now. So I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to post it at the top of the chat. There we go. Message pinned to the top of the chat. So again, make sure you check out that interview. You can get a good idea of what the future looks like for the Duchess of Sussex, especially where her business interests are concerned. Scaling up the product line that's what it's all about, is scaling up that product line. Now, a reminder, you guys. Here's a reminder. Annual reminder, meaning that we're doing this every year. We have to remind people. I understand, though, because there is concern. Annual reminder, the British monarch does not have the power to remove titles. Parliament can remove titles, and honors forfeiture committee can remove honors, but they would only do that after a person has been found guilty of a serious crime. I repeat, only after a person has been found guilty of a serious crime. These honors and titles are not easily removed. Even though page 6 says Prince William to strip Meghan of royal title after he becomes king, pay no attention to that. It is clickbait. It is clickbait. The HRH, his or her Royal Highness, fine, take it. The Sussexes don't use it anyway. But as for the Duchess of Sussex losing the title, the Duchess of Sussex, that is in all likelihood never going to happen, because the Duchess of Sussex is pretty much her name now. I mean, that is a legal name for her. It's all part of her everything now. Just like Meghan is a princess of the realm. Whatever they say, through marriage to her husband, she is a royal princess. The same with Archie, the same with Lily. They are royal princesses. According to that letter patent, they are royal princesses and princes. So worry not, you guys. Let William do Willie. And and the Sussexes will keep on keeping on. I should have warned you, shouldn't I? Is it time to ditch the monarchy? Well, I've already voted 43% compared to, I think, 57%. 43% says yes, it's time to ditch the monarchy. Now, if you are disappointed by that number, don't be. The reason why you should not be disappointed is because consider this much. We know that there's a bunch of right-wing monarchists that watch the GB News, right? So the fact that it's 43% should be alarming, okay? It shouldn't even be 43% considering the audience. It should not be 43%. It should be lower than that wants to ditch the monarchy. So this poll really is not a scientific poll. This is just whoever votes. So again, pay no attention to it. And pay no attention. You know what? I think that she has a proper wig today. I think that she has a proper wig. I mean, it still looks kind of wiggy, but she's getting there. She's getting there. She still needs a lace front, but she's getting there. She has to work on the lace front now. It's not a bad hair, a little bit too long, but she needs to work on a proper lace front. Can she do that for us? Let's see. Kavan Slim says Nana needs to ditch that wig. Thank you, Kavan Slims. Yes, it would do Nana some good to ditch that wig. She needs a proper lace front. It still looks kind of wiggy because it looks like it's just plopped on top of her head. She needs to put some edges down, and she needs desperately to have a lace front. Otherwise, she's not really selling it, you know? She's not really selling it. It's not, it doesn't inspire much. I wonder if this is the same wig. I wonder if that's the same wig. Maybe. No, I think that's a different wig. But see how you can clock that it's a wig and not a weave? She needs a lace front. She needs a good lace front. Lex says, Sisterhood of the Traveling Wigs with Kitty and Nana. Thank you, Legs, for that. The Sisterhood of the Traveling Wigs. It's been a while. You know what I'm looking for. It has been a while. I'm trying to find it. Oh, there it is. There it is.
It's like
there it is.
That King Charles may never be. Prince Harry, is it being selfish? 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 I ask this.
Yes, Prince Harry isn't being selfish. Okay, so the monarchy is rotten to the core, not just Prince Andrew. Now, if you know Yasmin, Ali Ba, am I saying that right? Brown, you know that she does not mince her words about the monarchy. As a matter of fact, I believe that she is anti-monarchy, and she has had some very choice words for the British monarchy for quite some time. Andrew's latest leaked massive, latest leak missive suggests that the favorite son of Queen Elizabeth II is an amoral, egotistical, and like his ex-wife, a liar. Woo! Woo! Tell us what you really think. You know, there's a lot of us that have been rooting for um, Fergie, you know, kind of treating her as just gravely misunderstood. But defending Fergie is not getting any easier. But when you consider, like she mentions the Michael Fawcett and the King's whole thing with the what was that, the cash for honors and such, the King's duchy making 829,000 a year renting one warehouse to the NHS Trust for housing ambulances, 829,000 pounds to the Duchy of Cornwall for renting a warehouse for ambulances for the NHS. I mean, there is so many scandals that they could overturn. Pull up the rock and look at what's scurrying beneath it type of scandals. So I think that someone has thrown Andrew to the wolves. I really do. And of course, that book is not going to help him out either. But I think that everyone who has something to hide has decided it is time. Hey, fancy, Bunny Rose. I think everyone with something to hide has decided that Andrew is going to take the bulk of it for the time being. And of course, we all know that by the time it's over with, they're going to try to figure out some kind of way to invoke the name Sussex in there. They're just trying to figure out the logical. Well, actually, I shouldn't say logical. Logic usually does not play a role, but they'll try to find some kind of way to get Harry and Meghan's name in there. Now, King Charles secretly recorded a podcast interview with Cate Blanchett. Even though they say that it's not the most royal thing to do to make a podcast, there goes Charles sitting there with Cate Blanchett doing exactly that. Aside from the conversation, it was said that Charles and Cate Blanchett, they bonded over lip gloss. As you know, Charles loves to wear that cherry red lip gloss. And yeah, he loves his cherry red lip gloss. But that gives him something to bond over. Yeah. And also, it's a break from talking about him. Andrew, the sick old man. But anyway, yes, so that happened. Pope Leo will meet two divorced adulterers next week, King Charles and Camilla, the Queen Consort. They are going to visit the Pope. Pope Leo is going to spend time, yes, the Bishop of Rome is going to spend time with the adulterers. I can't wait. I'm waiting to see if there's going to if they're going to have smoke, like, emanating from their clothes, as though they are going to somehow implode if they enter the Vatican. We'll see. We'll see. I think it's a scandal, an absolute scandal. Charles has done nothing but degrade the House of Windsor. They love to try to blame Harry and Meghan, and yet Charles and his adulterous relationship has been swept under the rug. It should be all that people talk about, even today. And now he's going to take Camilla to go and meet the Pope. I think that that's a scandal, an absolute scandal. The fact that Charles is the head of the Church of England, the supreme governor of the Church of England, an adulterer. An adulterer. As pious as the Queen has lived her life, Queen Elizabeth, how shameful is it that her son and heir would be an adulterer and bring that relationship to the British people as the supreme commander of the Church of England? I remember at the time of the, I was going to say Inquisition, at the time of the coronation, a lot of people just felt like a weird feeling in the pit of their stomach, myself included, at the idea that this adulterer, well, anyway, it's a shame. It's a shame. There are people that are faithful members of the Church of England, only for them to have a head of the church that is just a common adulterer. All you have to do is think about that phone call between him and Camilla. Disgusting, absolutely disgusting. And he has the nerves to sit in judgment of anybody, let alone Prince Harry. So look out, Pope Leo. They coming. And they're bringing all of their shady, adulterous, sinful ways with them. Watch the silverware. Oh my goodness, look at that. I don't know why every time I see that picture, I think about that. Remember that bass? Remember that bass that sings and talks and everything that's mounted on that board? That big mouth bass? Every time I see that picture of Camilla, I keep thinking about a big mouth bass. Everything about her just says, I don't know why she does that with her mouth. Why does she do that? Why is that so important to her? Why does she keep doing that? Why? I mean, it is a very strange. Is that like a tick or something like that? Is that like a little nervous tick that she has? Is it? Is that like a little nervous tick? I don't know what else to call. It's like a nervous tick. It's like she's sitting there and then all of a sudden she's making that face. So strange, that one. Oh well. Camilla Godzilla beer bottle opener. This is going to be the hottest Christmas present this year. And it includes a cap catcher. When you pop your bottle of beer open, right, the top actually falls down into her cleavage. Yes, it is the Camilla Godzilla beer bottle opener. Yeah. Okay. That was bad, wasn't it? I know. That was pretty bad. Anyway, I know that was pretty bad. Um Meghan Duchess of Sussex in the yeah. Okay, so I did this. I typed Meghan Duchess of Sussex in the Twitter search, and guess whose profile pops up? William and Kate. So you see, take a look on the right side. I didn't even get a chance to type it out. And all of a sudden, William and Kate pops up. Isn't that something? The Prince and Princess of Wales, Kensington Royal. That's what popped up. There's so many accounts that has the name Meghan. Why does the Prince and Princess of Wales pop up in the search on your Twitter account? I don't know. But if you have Twitter, you can try it and you will see exactly what I mean. And thank you so much for SK for sharing that bit of horror. Now take a look here. Meghan tan coat. Fortunately, when you type in Meghan tan coat, mostly Meghan comes up. There was a time when there were quite a few images of Kate that would come up. Like right here, I put Meghan beige coat, and at least one image of Kate pops up. But in that image, it does say Meghan's famous beige coat, and the article is about, Kate copying Meghan's look. But there, the people that work for William and Kate, a lot of them have a lot of technical skills, and they are very adept at trying to hijack images of Harry and Meghan and somehow leading the algorithm to Will and Kate. Will and Kate are literally piggybacking their image on that of Harry and Meghan's, but you know that already. This has been going on for quite some time, much to my horror. Now, Epstein bankrolled Sarah Ferguson for 15 years, and she took daughters to celebrate his release from prison in U.S. Are you serious? Are you serious? This is why I say it's getting very difficult. I mean, I like Sarah Ferguson. I really do, but she has been very irresponsible over the years. You took your daughters. You took your daughters to celebrate his release from prison. I mean, this is just going from bad to worse. It is a free for all. It is going from bad to worse. I'm not even sure what to think about that. I really do feel for those girls, though, Beatrice and Eugenie. I really do feel for them because they are being condemned, publicly condemned. Not directly, of course, but there's going to be a shadow over them for the rest of their lives because of all of this stuff. And that's unfortunate. Now, that lady right there, see the one looking over her shoulder? Isn't that the same one that was on television trying to go after Harry and Meghan? See on the right side, the one in purple? Isn't that the same person? Now, I don't know what her name is, but she's always trying to defend Andrew, and she's always on television trying to condemn Harry and Meghan. Well, television and YouTube now. Always. She's got it in for the Sussexes, and yet she's constantly defending Andrew, the sick old man. If you know her name, just throw it in the chat. Well, 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 birds of a feather flock together. Well, well, well. Well, 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 well. I'm not even going to add anything to it. I'm just going to leave that up there and say, well, well, well. Isn't it something when you run into someone that looks familiar? Isn't that something when you run into someone who looks familiar? By the way, Kate's hair looks absolutely ghastly. That highlight job that she has looks ridiculous. and so does the wig that she plopped down on top of it. It looks absolutely ridiculous. Oh, Victoria Harvey. Okay, thank you very much. Victoria Harvey. Thank you very much. I knew she looked familiar. Yeah, she's constantly defending that riffraff. Victoria Hervey. And she used to be a model, right? She used to be a model for what does it says here? Anyway, she used to be a model. Just the type to hang out with Andrew, I guess. Not to give all models a bad name, but yeah, she's a piece of work. I'd have to say that. She is a real piece of work. Oh my goodness. And she's still defending. And she's still defending him. Lady Victoria Hervey defends Prince Andrew. And she is still defending him. But no wonder she keeps defending him, because she used to party with him. She is a sick puppy. You know that? She is one sick puppy. What is wrong with her? And that's something. I'm looking at this from 5 months ago. Prince Andrew's ex-girlfriend, I feel sorry for him. Do you? Do you feel sorry for him? Oh, look at this. Prince Andrew's ex-girlfriend sparks backlash with sick response to Virginia Giuffre's death. You know what? I don't even know what she said, and I don't want to know. All I know is that she is constantly defending Andrew. Let's see here. Birds of a feather. Sir Richard Branson, Trump, Andrew hangs out with the best of them. I am just saying that they said a woman was very high profile and her name was redacted from the Epstein list, allegedly. Ah, oh my goodness. Dina Cardosa. Let me see here. Thank you so much for the where are we at here? Okay, thank you so much for the super sticker, a super chat. Thank you for your hard work in keeping up with our faves. Absolutely. I wouldn't have it any other way. And thank you so much also for being a member of Royal Sussex. And Leg says, remember a woman name was redacted? Yes, they said a name was redacted, and there has been speculation, massive speculation. Thank you so much, Lex, for the super chat. And Joan Garcia says, so Kate's afraid to walk with Harry and Meghan, not sit by Andy. Cheers to that one. Not afraid to sit by Andrew and not afraid to sit with the notorious PIG. Yes, the notorious PIG. Not afraid to sit with him. See how comfortable she is? Always comfortable in the company of men. Always. Whether it's Sir Richard Branson at a late night party where she was there to get some tips, tips, cough, cough, to get some tips, a tip. It always starts with a tip, doesn't it? These things always starts with a tip. But I digress. Prince Andrew has not paid rent on Royal Lodge for 2 decades. I repeat, Andrew has not paid rent since 2003. It says here Prince has paid only popcorn rent on a Grace and Favor mansion on Windsor Estate since 2003 after the 8.5 million upfront cost. Has not paid rent. And even if he was paying rent, you know that it would be greatly reduced from the, shall we say, the what do you call that? The market rate, much lower than the market rate. Prince Andrew has not paid rent on his Grace and Favor mansion on the Windsor Estate for 2 decades. The Times can reveal. The Times obtained a copy of the leasehold agreement from, or that is for Royal Lodge, revealing the terms under which the prince lives on the 30-room estate. It states that while the prince paid £1 million for the lease, plus at least 7.5 million for refurbishments completed in 2005, he has not paid one peppercorn if demanded in rent per year since 2003. Rent means one peppercorn if demanded. Okay. Never heard that before, but interesting. And to think that Kate and William would rather have Andrew than Meghan and Harry as neighbors. Now, that was something that was leaked to the press some time ago, that the Welleses would rather live near Andrew instead of Harry and Meghan. Let's see. Augusta Simon says, Sarah Ferguson took her daughters to celebrate. Gosh, Baron, you are doing excellent reporting. This information is stomach churning. Yeah, it is. It is absolutely bonkers. The, like I said, I like Sarah Ferguson, and that's why it bothers me to hear this, because Sarah Ferguson seems very childlike. She seems like she has some very poor impulse control. And yet, when you read about some of the hijinks that she's been involved in, that she is a bit of a calculating person beneath that veneer of spontaneous energy. She's actually quite calculating. And that is very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. And it makes me feel sad. And especially it makes me feel sad for her children. I like the fact that Sarah Ferguson was a friend to Princess Diana and took up for Diana and spoke up for Diana on an occasion. I can't recall any occasions where she has, wavered in her support of Diana. And also, I think she has been very neutral and somewhat supportive of the Sussexes. Although, any other time, she's pretty much all over the place. So, very disappointing that she's like that. It really is. But I guess these revelations are going to reveal her true colors. And it's too bad. It's too bad. I mean, she's someone's grandma. She has grandkids now. It's very embarrassing for her, for the family. It really is. Yeah, makes me feel a bit sad. Oh, well. Mm-mm-mm. Thank you for your comment. So, you believe that Andrew is going to end up behind bars as on Richard, what's his name, as Andrew Lonnie. The Metropolitan Police actively looking into reports claiming Prince Andrew asked one of his protection officers to help dig up information on his accuser. Um, I think that well, okay, I'll put it to you like this. In this coverage on GB News, they said that Andrew has a home. I forgot if it was Dubai or one of those countries that he frequents, that he has a home with a staff waiting for him. I repeat, they say that he has a home that is all staffed up waiting for him. At any given time, he can flee to the Middle East. Now, make of that what you will. Are they urging him to go, or are they just telling us what's possible? Yeah, I would seriously doubt that he would go to jail. House arrest, there is precedence for modern day royals to end up either banished to another country or under house arrest, where they would live out their days pretty much restricted to a few visitors and such. That is a possibility. Mm, yeah, she does have a shady side, doesn't she? She has a shady side, very shady side. Ooh, you know what? Well known among the royal family, and now they're pretending like they're so surprised and so disgusted. You're right about that. There's no way that they did not know about that relationship. Now, I have a bit of a soundbite from, I haven't played anything from him in quite some time, but I'm going to do that now.
I find it deeply, deeply obnoxious that the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, gets lumped in with his idiot uncle as somehow being problematic. A military hero who has done more to point out the corruption of the British media than almost anybody else in public life, being lumped in with a bloke who has been a disgrace to the family for decades is truly absurd. Actually, mentioning the Duke of Sussex, Harry and Meghan constitute massive news stories as well, because they offered such a wonderful opportunity to many members of the media to paint them as, or to essentially drive pages and pages, hours and hours of journalism, motivated almost entirely by the fact that the one of the most senior members of the royal family had the audacity to fall in love with a woman of colour, something that drives a coach and horses, if you pardon the pun, through much of our establishment presumptions.
There you have it. This constant attempt to try to create a false equivalency between the two households. And just what was it last week? I believe it was it Amanda Platel, or was it another one of those Two-Face, one of those middle-aged writers for the Daily Mail, struggling to remain relevant telling us about all of their past relationships and disappointments and their body image issues. Those people, they were saying that Meghan had better be careful, or was it Harry and Meghan had better be careful? Otherwise, they may end up like, what was it, Edward and Wallace, the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, that they could end up like that. Wallace Simpson was from another time and another place. Wallace Simpson, the biggest thing that she could ever do in life, given her background, and especially her need for the creature comforts that she was used to or accustomed to, she could only marry well. That was all she was capable of. And that she did 3 times. There were career women back in those days. Around the time of Wallace Simpson's birth, there were already some very dynamic women of business, especially Black women. So this idea that whether now or then, that someone like a Meghan would end up like a Wallace Simpson, I don't think so. I don't think so. But they push that narrative. The only thing that they have in common is that they both married into the House of Windsor. But aside from that, there are no connections. Absolutely none. Wallace Simpson was a lady who lunches, right? A lady who lunch. Meghan's mantra for some time was, I refuse to be reduced to being a lady who lunch. Not that there's anything wrong with having a proper lunch, putting on something smart, and going to a nice restaurant. Nothing wrong with that. But there are so many more facets to Meghan's character besides going to a nice lunch date with a girlfriend. And that is something that she has reinforced time and time again. I work. Meghan has worked for a living. She has not relied upon men for the comforts in life. She's worked for what she's got. And so there's a huge difference. And also, personality-wise, I would say that there are some attributes of the Duke of Windsor. Very thoughtful, kind, concerned about people. But the Duke of Windsor was destined to be king. Harry is a spare. And as we can see from Margaret and Elizabeth, as we can see from Charles and Andrew, there's a stark difference in personalities. Your whole approach to your future is predicated on one thing, that you are going to be king, and your brother is destined, or your sister in Margaret's case, is destined to be a second fiddle until they're not needed anymore. Harry has broken that chain. Harry is far more relevant, far more popular, far more. And listen, you guys, I do mean this. Harry is far more well known around the world than his brother. More people know who Prince Harry is than his brother. I kid you not. Poll after poll. And I'm not talking about whether or not you like him, which before the hate campaign, most people did. But just in terms of a known commodity, more people were aware of Harry and fewer people, enough people had no idea anything about William, let alone his name. Diana's sons, Harry and what's his name. And it's been that way for a long time. William's popularity has only begun to grow because of this hatred of his brother. And of course, the fact that he is the heir, and pretty soon he will be king. They have been trying desperately to take everything away from Harry, everything. And yet he just keeps on going. Military uniform is not for PR. Prince Harry's served the army for 10 years, rising ranks and undertaking 2 tours in Afghanistan. He continues to work supporting his fellow servicemen, wounded veterans, men and women. #respect. Even trying to strip him of the honor and the dignity that he gained as a soldier. And yet, he remains ever popular. People see through William, even if they don't admit it. They see through him, and they know he's no good. They know exactly who William is and what he is. They may pretend otherwise, and a lot of that is based upon just being a monarchist or just plain being a racist. Not necessarily both, either or, sometimes both. But it is what it is. You okay? Is you okay? I started looking at these images and I'm like, what if she has multiple personality disorder? What if? I'm not saying she does. I'm just saying, what if? What if she's suffering from multiple personality disorder? There's Kate that shows up for royal duty. There's Kate that makes a school run. There's Kate that goes to a state dinner. Something ain't right with her. Something ain't right with her. Ain't nobody that damn happy. Nobody. Check it out. Sarah Ferguson, Sarah the Duchess. And check it out. Oh, the arrows jumped. I'm so sorry. The arrows moved. Sarah Fergie, Sarah M. Fergie. As you can see, sorry about the arrows jumping out of place there. But as you can see, she changed it at Sarah the Duchess to at Sarah M. Fergie 15. The only person that's really lost anything, as far as I'm concerned, is Sarah Ferguson. She's no longer Duchess Sarah. She's no longer the Duchess of York. The other people that are losing, of course, are her daughters. It's unfortunate, Beatrice and Eugenie, they had to pull out of the pink ball, I think is what they call it. It's like London's version of the Met Gala. They're trying to get something like a Met Gala thing going for the British Museum. And unfortunately, they pulled out of it. So the women, as usual, the women in the family are the ones that lose. Unless you're sovereign, unless you're a sovereign queen, you always are the first to have something taken away. The men in the family, they always keep everything. Just like Andrew, in all likelihood, is going to keep everything, including royal protection. It always happens that way. The women, especially if they marry into the family, the women are the ones who stand to lose something, not the men. It's been that way for a long time, and it will probably always be that way. Kavan Slim says, I can't wait to see what Troop in the Color and the balcony looks like when Willie takes over. You know, I was thinking about that today. I was thinking about the big turnout that Queen Elizabeth expected compared to Charles, and then what's left for William. That is going to be very interesting. But I tell you what, do not be surprised. Do not be surprised if there isn't an invitation for the Sussexes. I'm just saying, don't be surprised. A lot of things can happen between now and Troop in the Color. I'm just saying, don't be surprised. But we'll see. But don't be surprised, because when it's all said and done, the only thing that will help them save face is going to be their relationship with Harry and Meghan. I got a feeling, I don't know when, whether it's a year from now or 10 years from now, but I think at some point that is going to be the only thing that helps them save face. I just got a hunch about that. Now, whether or not the Sussexes will make themselves available to that institution, I don't know. But I think the invitation will be extended. And I think you're going to be surprised by the person who extends that invitation. But time will tell. Let's see. Kay O'Brien just became a member of Royal Sussex. I am so delighted. Thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate that. And remember, memberships for Royal Sussex is a bargain. The price is $4.99 a month. Now, there are higher levels that you could reach if you so choose, but the starting price is $4.99 a month. Yes, for the price of a cup of coffee once a month, you can help support Royal Sussex. Why the royal family needs Mike Tyndall more than ever. Ex-rugby star is the glue who brings a dose of normality and could be relied upon amid Prince Andrew drama. Mike Tyndall, who celebrated his 47th birthday on Saturday, brings a much-needed sense of levity to formal royal occasions. Oh, you mean like trying on his wife's fancier? There's a bunch of photos out there of Mike Tyndall wearing his wife's fancier, her hat. Her hat. That's one of the fun things that he does when I guess the evening is getting kind of slow. Lorraine Esmeralda says, I have a feeling something will be turning around. I believe, Baron, God has a way of changing things. Amen to that. Absolutely. I got a feeling. I got a feeling that when it all comes down to it, that which they have resisted so much may be the one thing that saves them. That might be the one thing that saves them. But we'll see. Time will tell. Stranger things have happened. You know, sometimes the thing that causes the great divide is not obvious. But at some point, all things will be revealed. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. But like I said, I don't know if that means that these Sussexes would ever make themselves available to that institution. They have good reason to avoid it. Very good reason. Trust being the first. But Time will tell. Thank you so much for the super chat. So, again, Mike Tyndall, the savior of the royal family. If you ever need someone to cop a feel, Mike Tyndall is your guy. If you need someone to embrace the heir to the throne, causing him to dig his nails into his broad, massive, manly back, yes, Mike Tyndall is the guy. Or if you want him to prance around nearly naked on television as a member with proximity or member of the royal family, so to speak, Mike Tyndall is your guy. That's right. If you need weirdness, if you need things to get weird, look toward Mike Tyndall. Nobody has ever been more suspect or weird than Mike Tyndall. He's just a phone call away. And we won't even try to figure out how his nose collapsed. They said it was from playing rugby. Now, I know of a way that some people have had their septums collapse, but rugby, yeah, right. But yeah, so Mike Tyndall, the savior of the royal family. And you know what? If things get any worse, they may need him more than he needs them. So cheers to you, Mike Tyndall. Good luck with that family. Remember, they need you until they don't. William needs them. William needs them a lot too. Enough to start clawing his nails into his back. That will never not look strange to me. I mean, yeah, okay. Okay. Seems like another pulled pork sandwich to me. Yeah. Maybe Willie. Oh, never. Let me stop. Let me stop. Oh, man. Okay, you guys, that's it. Like I said, about an hour, and we just went over about 10 minutes. But thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex.
Is it being selfish? Prince Harry, is it being selfish?
I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow. I love your tomorrow. You're only a day away.